What advice do you give young people who are entering the business world wanting to rise to the top today?
I've been going through this a little right now. My niece, who I adore, just graduated college in June, and it's been so fun. She's been out here in California visiting, and she's now going to come back and live here. And it's been so fascinating. I was completely clueless coming out of college about how to find a job. I really didn't know anything, and so I'm very sympathetic, and so many of the connections that I can use, that I know I can use. But so what I tell her is, this is the chance you have to eliminate all those crazy things you're never going to want to do, but you won't know until you go try them. So whether it's an informational interview, whether it's an internship, whether it's a short, shadow somebody, I want her to go try as many things as she can. When I was early in my career, I fortunately did have an opportunity, not just in full-time jobs, but when I moved to California, I was 25, 26, and I decided I just would temp for a year. I didn't know California, I didn't know the businesses, so I did that old role of, Kelly Services or whatever it was equivalent back then, remember that? And I would temp in all these different offices, and I'll tell you, I eliminated, never want to work in insurance, never want to work in banking, never want all these things, until I finally fell into this job at Pacific Bell, the early Pacific, before Pacific Telesis and all the others, and I got in this role where my job was to sit in my cubicle and read and edit the documents that were going through the word processing department. I'm really aging myself here, but the documents, it turns out, were from this incredible marketing team who was doing the strategy for telecom for the next 10 years. And I thought, people get paid to figure out the strategy for telecommunications for the next 10 years. I want that job. And that was the first chance that I had to see about marketing, to see about strategy, to understand that there was this whole career path. And that ended up being the career path that I took because I had that opportunity to sit there. And I met a mentor. I developed a mentor of one of the guys who would come to the department all the time and always have these really fascinating documents. And of course, I interviewed him, like, how did you get there? And I took a lot of great advice from what I learned, but only because I eliminated 25 things before that of what I don't want to do. So
and now there's even more choices, right?
I know. I do feel a little bad for these folks because there is way more options than we had.